Hello and welcome back to the Crypto Saving Expert News Show, where we keep you up to date with the latest cryptocurrency news and market prices so that you know exactly what is going on with the markets. And today we have that Martini guy again, our founder at Crypto Saving Expert. And today we are both going to run over a few charts, look at the prices of the markets, and we're also going to recap 2022 just to take a look what has happened. And then we'll both give an opinion of what we think could happen next year as well. So first of all, we have Bitcoin at 16,000, just under $16,500, and Ethereum at $1,190. And I think Jordan is going to share some analysis on these for us today. If you can share your screen.
Yes, I am going to. I think your stream is lagging a fair bit, but we'll continue and you can poke around with your Wi-Fi while I share my screen. Essentially, what I'm going to do right now is share my screen, and there we go. Bish, bash, bosh. Currently, the price of Ethereum. This is where we're going to kick out today's live stream. We're going to run through everything that's happened so far this year to give you a full kind of roundup of everything that's gone on this year. It's been a very interesting year, not necessarily the best year for cryptocurrency. In fact, one of the worst in a very, very long time. Now, the current price of Ethereum is $1,191, but this is the first place that I'm showing this piece of information, so very few people are going to actually see this. I might not even be able to show it. Let's give this page just a quick refresh and hope that it actually pops up down at the bottom. I've not actually refreshed this page in a while. Go on. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. Is it going to be there? There we go. Right. So I have an element of concern that I feel right now. Look at this. This is the equity put call ratio that is currently on the stock market. There was a huge amount of puts that got put in for yesterday, which is generally a sign that the market is either going to bottom soon or has already bottomed. Basically, we've had a huge amount of people shorting over the past 24 hours in the traditional stock market. Very interesting. Other than that, when it comes to the price of Bitcoin, of course, currently Bitcoin is sat on this $16,500 level. Looking at the $16,500 chart right now on the price of Bitcoin, you can see it wants to head again back to the downside towards this red line right here. Again, the key level to be watching right now, about $16,400. If we lose $16,400, things will probably get a little bit nasty for Bitcoin. And the level of which to watch for Ethereum would be this level right here, around about $1,180. If we lose $1,180, to be honest, no, actually, it's more like the purple line down here. Which, yeah, $1,180. If we hit $1,180 or lower, then we can expect a bit of a breakdown, being that if we look at this on these higher time frames, by the way, these kind of indicators like your MACD, your RSI, they actually look pretty decent. But essentially, you've got two very key levels, and we've got one very important day, which is of course the 1st of January. And on the 1st of January this year, something's going to happen. We don't have much room within this situation that we are right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 4-hour candles at most. So like 2 days, something like this. Basically, we don't have a lot of space left within us to, like 12 4-hour candles is exactly 2 days. So if the price of Ethereum is $1,186 on New Year's, we're stuck right between the two levels of support and resistance. And whichever level it cracks, it's probably going to move very violently in that direction. So don't have high leverage trades open right now, would be my advice. Have low leverage trades, try and capitalize on the movements of the markets, but don't be touching the high leverage today, tomorrow, or the day after, because things are going to get volatile. And that will be my market outlook for the day. Jess, I hope you sorted your Wi-Fi because now it's your turn to talk.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a little bit better. Today, we are going to run through what's happened this year, and to do that we are going to take a look at the newsletter that was sent out from Crypto Saving Expert. So if you want to receive our newsletters every Tuesday at 11 a.m, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com and put in your email address so you can get access to these. And when in this issue we actually had a quiz where you had to find a code within the piece, and if you found it and got it on our Twitter, you were entered into a prize draw. So 3 people were selected for that yesterday, and I can reveal the answer was buy the dip. So to find the code here, you had to look for the letters in italics, and through the article actually was the answer. So that was a fun game to play, and there'll be more of those in the future, as well as important information within the newsletter. So if you want to get involved,
Come on, get to the point. What's going on? Also, I want to
Um,
point out, guys, you may have seen me on Twitter this morning, um, with the Tate stuff. I just find it entertaining. I really don't care what happens with him. I just wanted to point that out. Continue, Jess.
First of all, we're going to take a look at January. We started the year at $46,216 for Bitcoin, which sounds like very nice prices to be at now. We've had a 33% retracement from that all-time high in the November before that. And now we're trading much, much lower. So the year started off much better than how we're finished. But let's take a look at February 1st. This is where the Russia and Ukraine war
You meant
really
to
kicked.
be sharing your screen.
Oh, yeah, I am.
There we go.
Every
It
time.
does help, when you normally press that button there that shares your screen. It does help.
Thanks. Actually, another thing happened in January. I joined Crypto Saving Expert. That was a key point in our year.
Wait, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, you've barely done anything since you started, so.
Lots of work done. Anyway, moving on to February. The war started in February, and to interact that into with crypto, it obviously had a negative effect on many different markets. We've also seen over $69 million be donated to Ukraine through cryptocurrencies. So that has taken place. There's some questions. And then we got to March, where we saw the yearly high at $48,000. It would be very nice to see that price again, but it's
Oh,
not
I would
looking
stab
likely.
somebody for $48,000 Bitcoin right now. That'd be so nice.
It's really not looking likely right now. I don't even see it in 2023, to be honest.
When I think back, because when I think back, $48,000 Bitcoin, that was great. Was that such a good time? We had such a nice price of Bitcoin back then. When I bought my house, Bitcoin was $48,000. It'd between $48,000 and $52,000, and I cashed out a fair amount to do that. A good decision. I should have done more back then, but I feel like everybody is the same. Everybody took some profits, but nobody took as many profits as what they wanted. All lessons to learn for the next time. We are going to get another $48,000 Bitcoin at some point within the next couple of years. So just hold out. It is coming, and we'll all be very wealthy again.
I hope so. How long it will be till then, I'm not sure.
I am sure it's coming on January the 2nd.
Have you
As
seen that the
Bitcoin
Moon's
next.
going to delete his Twitter account if we don't get to $100,000 by tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with that, because I mean he said it several times, but I don't believe him for 1 second that he'll
No,
delete
I
it, because he
don't.
spent years building that thing up. Like, you can't delete it. The only thing I can think of is perhaps he will rebrand it as the Moon account and drop Carl from it, and the Moon becomes an entity without Carl. And that's maybe just to speculate on what Carl's going to do with his account. He said he's fully committed to it, but what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give it to your member of your what's the crack? It's an interesting one.
Mm,
I didn't
no.
ask him about it. I should have asked him about it when I was with him in Dubai. But I never asked him. Should have asked.
Well, I
Missed
thought he'd
opportunity.
just kind of forget about it before the end of the year, but in the last couple of days, he's really been tweeting about it.
Yeah, and I just
Anyway,
strange.
then we got to May this year, and that is when we really started to see the downwards turn for cryptocurrency, when UST depegged from the dollar, and we all got in a very sticky situation. A lot of people lost a lot of money. I know I did, and then I remember I did try and buy the dip on this in a hopes that we'd see some kind of recovery, but we haven't, and it's been very painful.
That's been since May. Look, that feels like it was just like 3 days ago. Does that? That's
Mm,
crazy. How is that in May? We're in December now. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months. That's crazy. Wow.
time flies when you're losing money, hey.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It really drags. That sucks. For me, I lost 2 mil in Luna, so is what it is. UST. I didn't even hold UST until like 2 weeks before the crash, and then I got advertised it really heavily with this 20% income that you get from a trusted exchange of mine, and then they ended up screwing me hard. So yeah, that wasn't fun.
I did the
Anyway,
same. We had a conversation in the office, and I said, "It sounds too good to be true. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it." And then a matter of weeks before it crashed, I thought, I'll just put some money in it. It'll
yeah.
be fine.
But it was
It's
because the exchange was shilling it so hard to us in the emails, and it's an exchange that I trusted. And yeah, how to ruin a relationship overnight there, by shilling me some scam that shouldn't. You saw our exchanges going, oh yeah, well, you should have done your research. You shouldn't have done. You should have done your research and not listed the fucking thing. There is an element that like the stock market doesn't list random stocks of scams for the simple reason of people will get scammed. Crypto exchanges should follow the same rules, and they should also not list scams. So therefore, they should never have listed some Ponzi UST coin. I didn't fully understand what it was. It was back in the bull market back then, wasn't it? 20% interest. It doesn't sound so outrageous. I've been pretty used to making like 600% a year interest on something. So yeah, it was a different time. It will come back though. Just hopefully without these bad actors next time. Although I can guarantee there'll be different bad actors. There'll be someone else. There always is.
Also in May, we saw the 3 Arrows Capital Hedge Fund filed for bankruptcy, and they owed over $3.5 billion to creditors like Voyager and BlockFi. And obviously, we've seen the effects that's had later in the year. Before we get on to the next one, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yesterday, we got 120 likes on the stream, so let's try and beat that. Yeah.
Yeah, please, guys, just drop your little fingers onto those little thumbs up. You'll please Andrew Tate.
Taking a look down here, we have June Grayscale Spot ETF rejected by the SEC. Now, I think this was a bit predictable. I wonder when do you predict we'll actually get a spot ETF?
I think that we'll see a spot ETF. No, not for 2 years yet. And the reason I say that is because the SEC's really got to heavily regulate cryptocurrencies before they'll allow a proper spot Bitcoin ETF. I think we're more likely to see a spot Bitcoin ETF in Russia and in China before we'll actually see it in America. And from my perspective right now, it seems like the US is seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a bit of a weapon against them from these less legitimate countries. Through like money laundering and funding of things, and that's what they're scared of it being used for. Ultimately, the US dollar is the most used and abused currency on earth. So I don't know why they're so scared of crypto, but they are. They don't seem to understand that in order to use crypto in real life, you actually have to send it to somebody, and then that person has to cash it out and get cash. At the end of the day, the book always stops with the fiat currency. Nobody's actually money laundering. They're using crypto perhaps to launder money, but you can't actually use crypto to launder money. You can only do that with cash. It's just frustrating. I'd describe this whole situation. I don't think we're going to get a Bitcoin ETF next year. That doesn't seem very realistic.
No.
Yeah, it is what it is. GBTC would be good. The thing is as well, Grayscale, as I said in yesterday's live stream, you can currently buy Bitcoin from Grayscale for $8,000 per coin, and say that they close down their fund. This would be like the best case scenario ever. Grayscale next spot Bitcoin ETF gets rejected. You bought 1,000 Bitcoin from Grayscale for $8,000 a coin, backed at 1-to-1 with a contract. That means that when Grayscale's fund shuts down, they have to deliver on that 1-to-1 contract that they've opened up with you. And you can either choose to settle in dollars or for the amount of money that you invested, or you can choose to settle at the 1-to-1 ratio, which means that you'll get $16,000 Bitcoin for the price of only $8,000, which is why I'm buying into Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust. Because in the eventuality where they get another spot Bitcoin ETF rejected, you double your money. Like, it's just the best news ever. So keep rejecting those ETFs, Grayscale. Make us all very wealthy with a nice 2x. That'd be great.
Carrying on with this one, to July, we've seen Celsius filed for Chapter 11 protection after pausing customer withdrawals 4 weeks prior. Also, in July, we saw insider trading in Coinbase. Remember this? Where I think it was him and their brother.
Somebody got arrested for that.
Yeah, not very good. And we also saw Central African Republic accept Bitcoin as a legal tender, but it hasn't gone as successful as El Salvador, I believe, because 11% of the population have access to the internet, I believe. So I don't know why. Obviously, that wasn't going to pick up in the way that it has in El Salvador, but it's still positive. It's still adoption.
Yeah.
We're seeing positive things in a very negative time. Moving on to the next one, August bear market rally to $25,000. Isn't that just crazy that the rally was to $25,000? If you'd have said that last year, you would have been horrified.
It's no good. Slap a like on the live stream, by the way, guys. We're going to try and hit 100 likes again. That'll be fantastic. And thank you all for watching so far. Also, please do drop a link to this live stream in any group chats that you're in any Telegram chats, and tell people to join so we can keep growing the crypto saving expert community, because here we just like to have fun. That's what we do. We like to have fun. A little bit. No, I'm not going to say that joke. That would be too edgy for the morning. Continue, Jess.
Also in August, we saw BlackRock partner with Coinbase and announced the launch of a new private spot Bitcoin trust. So we were seeing, still within the bear market, traditional and crypto companies partnering up, which is positive. In October, we really didn't see much movement, and towards the end of the year, we've really not seen much movement. Volatility shrank. Well, we did see volatility when FTX collapsed, obviously. That was a
yeah, read through the FTX stuff, and then I've got some things to say about this.
Okay. So on the 6th of November, CZ, Binance's CEO, announced the company would be liquidating the FTT tokens. This was the token issued by FTX, and you could get lower transaction fees on the exchange. But CZ did not insinuate why, but gave the reason: due to recent revelations that has come to light. And this shook the crypto industry. Binance is the biggest exchange, and that caused a lot of fear. A lot of people look up to CZ. And the impression was CZ knew something that could leave him with no other action but to sell the company's FTT holdings. And this tweet was swiftly followed by SBF, so FTX's CEO, to allude that all was well at the company and they were excited to keep climbing together. And then, despite SBF's reassurances, Bitcoin fell more than 10% in several hours. And on the 8th of November, CZ announced FTX had asked for financial help due to a significant liquidity crunch. Although, after performing due diligence on the state of FTX's finances, Binance pulled out of any deal to save the company, which resulted in Bitcoin dropping to the time yearly low of $15,600. I believe that CZ was never going to buy FTX, and he just wanted to have a little snoop around and see what was happening within the competition.
Yeah, that makes complete sense as far as theories go. From my perspective, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't think he had any intention of saving it, but I think the unfortunate thing about all of this would have been the collapse would have gone so much smoother if that CZ never got involved and never even tweeted about selling FTT. If he'd have just dumped it, then we would be in a much better situation right now. But he had to make a big deal about it, didn't he? And I don't appreciate that. I also don't, nobody knows this at the moment, and this is new to me, but Binance is sacking all of their like affiliate team, or most of it. Again, breaking news from Crypto Saving Expert. Nobody's ever talked about this before. Yeah, interesting. They're making redundancies on the affiliate side of things, and they're not pursuing that side of the business anymore. I don't know why, but I can tell you that I know quite a few people that work with Binance and no longer work for Binance. So interesting. Why is Binance saying that they're hiring, and in fact they are firing to cut costs?
We didn't want negative news today, Jordan.
No, we didn't want negative news today, did we? But I got a friend of mine told me that he'd just been sacked like about an hour ago. So there we go. It is what it is. But yeah, he's not been sacked for not doing a good job. He's been sacked for not having I don't know, for not making the company enough. I don't know, because it's an affiliate role, so generally they do make a lot of money as affiliate managers for the company. As in, you bring in people to talk about Binance, and then those people generate wealth for Binance, and then that wealth justifies the job. But yeah. Anyway, continue. After days of chaos at FTX.
After days of chaos at FTX and within the cryptocurrency markets, SBF announced he filed the company for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on the 11th of November. And this was the worst case scenario for crypto and users of the exchange, as it left many questions unanswered as to where billions of dollars of customer funds were located. Obviously, we've got those answers now. Finally, as the dust began to settle, SBF began to post cryptic tweets after remaining silent in the aftermath of the FTX destruction. These tweets began with, "What one, what, and proceeded to spell out happened later, letter by letter. On the other hand, it was not singularly FTX that was affected by the company's bankruptcy. BlockFi was forced to file for bankruptcy as they could no longer function as a company after gaining financial aid from FTX months beforehand. In addition, questions surrounding the impact on Genesis and Gemini are still largely unknown and leave the possibility more companies could become insolvent in the aftermath. It is without a doubt one of the biggest events in cryptocurrency history and one that is far from being unraveled completely. Now, it was a big thing, but it was nowhere near the size when we look at Mt. Gox, that covered 70 or 80% of Bitcoin transactions at the time. So we will get through it. It's just a very tough period in the markets right now.
Yeah, it is what it is. You've got a lot of people that have zero confidence. If you imagine you're new to investing to a market and the first decision that you have to make is, of course, to buy, but there are people that have been around in this market for years and years and years participating, and you think that you can suddenly run that market and make a fortune from that market, it is quite a delusional thought when you think about it in retrospect. And so you have all of these people coming to the terms with the fact that they're not overnight stock trading geniuses. They did perhaps get lucky on a few things, and they've lost a lot of money since the time that they got lucky. But the thing is, it's the exact same scenario as what we had in 2017, and that's what makes me happy. The scenario that we had in 2017 was you had the exact same group of people that were you just not get rich quickers, but like they had a lot of confidence and not so much education. But then they stayed, they educated themselves, and because they got a taste of the poisonous apple, which is, of course, at that time $20,000 Bitcoin, everybody made a lot of money for a very short period and then lost a lot for a very long period. It just depends when you get in. Like, I mean, I made money for 3 years straight going into the bull market, or rather, going through the bull market. Whereas a lot of people only joined for like the last 6 months, so they have a very different opinion of things than me. And it's that resetting of opinions. It takes a long time. Even people like me, we do struggle in terms of making the numbers make sense to continue doing this. But at the same time, you've just got to keep plugging away, and you'll be rewarded in due course for your attention. Like, crypto isn't dead. Crypto is coming back. Why am I still investing in Crypto Saving Expert? Why do we still push forward every day, despite not being profitable? Because we care and we know in the future it will be, and that's why. So continue, Jess.
Yeah, carrying on with this, finally we have December, where we've seen no movement whatsoever, basically. When we look at the charts, the trading volumes are low. We really haven't seen much. Some things we did miss out in that run through, though, was in October, we saw Elon Musk buy Twitter, and we also saw the UK elect Rishi Sunak, who is supposedly a crypto-friendly prime minister, but we'll see how that unravels in 2020.
Oh, I've got some interesting information. I wanted to know how much Matt Hancock got paid to come on stage at Zubu Live to see how much he really cared about cryptocurrency. So Matt Hancock, as you all know, went on I'm a Celebrity. You can also see how much he got paid for his I'm a Celebrity payment by just looking at his political donations or whatever it is, because they have to declare. Politicians have to declare every time they get paid. Matt Hancock got paid £10,000 to say that he liked Bitcoin but didn't hold Bitcoin on a stage in London. I think that's absurd that we're paying politicians £10,000 to just speak nonsense that they don't believe. But if you do want a politician that is for sale, Matt Hancock is for sale. He costs £10,000 per public event, and all you have to do is send his office manager a message and £10,000, and you can get him to say anything you want. You want Matt to be an advocate for no, I'm going to make some very edgy joke there that I shouldn't do. But essentially, yeah, you can buy a politician. So it costs £10,000. And to be honest, Matt's probably one of the more expensive ones. You could probably get a much cheaper politician for about £1,000 to say anything you wanted. I might look into this, it could be a good idea. Just bugging politicians cash to get them to say things. Sam did the same thing. Why am I not doing this? I should be doing this. Why am I not paying for it? We should ask somebody within the company, Jess, can we start paying politicians to say nice things about Bitcoin to make the price go back up? Perhaps that's a good strategy. If anybody wants to chip in, you can always send us money as well, and I'll happily send it on to the politicians. Slap a like on today's live stream. Subscribe to the channel, of course. We did do some nice growing as well in yesterday's video. So if you are new to the channel and you're just tuning in right now, please do slap a like and please do subscribe. And also send this stream in any one of your favorite group chats so that somebody else joins. Thank you very much. Continue, Jess.
So that's us finished through the recap of 2022, but we can take a look at some recent news to see what's happening currently, unless you have.
Well, I've
anything
got a
else
little
to
thing
add.
to finish off the year because it's not really finished yet, hasn't 2022 yet. Basically, at the end of this year, we are really, really very much in the toilet in terms of the markets. Don't expect that next year is going to be worse than this year. It's not. There is a lot of speculation that it could be, but it's from a realistic point of view, we could have a worse start or worse middle, but the entire year we're gonna have to get some upwards at some point. And this is what it comes down to in cryptocurrency, especially as a trader, as somebody that trades to make money on a daily basis. I only need volatility, preferably volatility in the upwards direction because I prefer it because I have a cryptocurrency portfolio as well. But as a trader, I only need volatility, and that volatility will return within the next 12 months. And it's on that 20, 30, 40% move that we receive in the span of 1, 2, 3 days. That's where all of the money is made. And that's where I'll make all of my money as well. You can say that you have $10,000 in an account and you experience a 40% move on the price of Bitcoin. I would be expecting that you have at least $400,000 in that account by the end of that move's completion. Um, we it was the most profitable time coming out of the previous bear market for me anyway. Was the distance between $10,000 Bitcoin and $29,000 Bitcoin? That's proportionally where I made the biggest gain. Where I went from being just under a millionaire to having many of them by the time it hit 30K. Bitcoin's price has only increased 3 times, but I've made significantly more than 3 times my money at that point. And this is what you've got to understand. All of the money is made in a very short period right at the start. Everything else becomes numbers and fluff towards the end. But also, it's important to understand bull markets last 18 to 24 months. And they start really slowly. So as soon as we get like a couple good months in a row, just steadily heading to the upside, that's when I'll be piling in like a dumper truck. So, Jess, anyway, news.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember is that although everyone's shouting March 2024 for the Bitcoin halving, usually we have another year and a half before we actually peak. So we have a huge amount of time where everyone will be cheerful and streaming in every day because there'll be positive news to share with everyone. My opinions for 2023 is that we're going to be kind of steady, hopefully in a gradual increase through the year from the start to finish. But maybe we'll see some groups of altcoins that just seem to spark and perform
Oh
really
yeah,
well.
we should
with
talk altcoins. I also want to talk Andrew Tate because I am seeing a few comments in the comment section. Somebody calling me a scammer because I don't like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate runs a group, right? That you pay £50 a month to join. And it works in a Ponzi scheme whereby if you share his videos on the internet with a referral link underneath them, you get 50% of the money that video generates. So he gets 50%, you get 50%. So if that video goes viral, then you both make lots of money. Very smart system for making a paid group because, well, you just say something dumb, it gets shared a lot, and then you get a lot of money. I just find the Tate thing funny. I really don't like the guy, but I also really don't care that much. But you have all of these people out there just tugging on his little tonka and telling him how great a human he is when nobody actually know. He could genuinely get charged with the stuff that he's like. I mean, he's been charged with it, but it might not go away. It might get worse. So what I'm saying is, if you are a public figure, probably don't strongly yourself like align yourself with a person that's currently being charged with human trafficking and all these other things. Like, we don't know the full extremity of the situation. It could be quite bad. It could be nothing. But ultimately, governments don't investigate nothing. They put money and resources into things to stop crime and bad things from happening. And there is no Illuminati nonsense in this. Like, this is the other funny side of it. You got some crazy Americans out there. The guy's from Luton. Luton's not Luton. Like, I've seen him describe it in his Luton in his videos as the hood. Can you imagine describing Luton as the hood? Luton is not the hood. Luton is just like a horrible little town that's got an airport. It's a city actually, and they've got a football team as well that just got relegated, I think, for this season. So they're not. It's not like that good of a place, but it's also not like that bad. It's just a pretty non-place, is Luton. Anyway, subscribe and like the video if you also like Andrew Tate or don't like Andrew Tate. I don't care. Just slap that button. That's great. We don't have to agree on everything. I just think the guy's a knob. What do you think of him, Jess? What are your thoughts on Tate? You're a woman.
I watched a couple of videos, thought some things he said was bizarre, and then decided not to waste any more time watching his videos. So I've not watched them for a very long time because it's just not.
This is very similar to me. Like I read his tweets about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought this guy is just on another planet. I found it hilarious. I actually covered it in a video like 3 or 4 years ago. His tweets and the dumb stuff he was saying back then, and then he blew up, and all of these simple. No, we're not going to say that because we get dislikes for saying that. In fact, no, sod it. Simps, people that love to tug on his tonka, like I've already said. They just love him for some reason, but I don't know why. And then you criticize him, and they all jump to his defense. And
But he only says the things he says because he knows he's going to get views and likes.
Yeah,
He's
no,
trying
this
to
is
get
what
as much engagement as
he's
possible.
like me. I mean, I engagement bait to some extent, but he's like me on steroids, and people love him. And he is on steroids as well, like me on steroids, but actually on steroids. Maybe I should take steroids. Maybe you'd all like me a little bit more if I took steroids. Should I start jabbing my bum with some big needles?
It's just really strange the amount of people that are on his side. Not strange, but every public figure has haters, but he doesn't seem to have as many as the average person.
Yeah, this is funny. There's this guy in the chat, by the way, Jess, that you should probably block from commenting because I can't block them. But yeah, it is this guy, man. Some people just really love Tate. I bet you, if you offered him the opportunity to, I don't know, have a finger of Tate stuck up his bum, and say yes. Anyway, let's continue by discussing something that's not that knob, and instead let's discuss. What should we discuss, Jess? Well, we want to discuss something else.
We were going to discuss altcoins in 2023.
That was it, yes. We're going to discuss altcoins in 2022. What is your largest altcoin holding right now with a market cap under $10 million? Or rather, which one do you like the best under $10 million?
Under $10 million?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm staying away from those for now.
You're just a that's what you are. You got no sense of... Ultimately, I look at it from a risk management point of view. And I look at things that have raised money that have got less than a $3 million market cap, that have got significantly more than $3 million in funding. Like, I get asked about Castor all the time. Oh, how's Castor doing? Oh, Castor's like, yeah, Castor's down because it's the bear market, but I'm still in profit on my investment. I told everybody to buy at 1 cent when it was in its launchpad phase. It's still like 3 cents or something, so you'd still be 3x, idiots. It's just none of these people actually bought. They just complain about the price. Like, shut up. You never participated. We're all still in profit. All Castor holders from the start are happy. People that bought it after launch, which I never said to do, they're not happy. That was a different time back then as well, I remember. The point is, Castor's got $9 million right now in cash. They've got a market cap less than that, I think. Or somewhere around that. I should actually check. What is it? Let's have a look.
I've got clear market cap up.
Not that I'm saying it's a good investment. I'm not. I'm just saying with all of these things, you have market cap of 3.5 million, but they've got 9 million in the bank. Like, why would you bet against that? That's just crazy. You've got somebody there that Carl wants to be around for a long time. He wants his things to do well. At some point, he'll invest in marketing. But what's the point in marketing an application for cryptocurrencies in a bear market whereby nobody wants to use this stuff, and every time you try and say something about it, everybody tries to attack you? Like, imagine it from his perspective. It's very difficult. You're going to go out and spend £1 million on marketing, but you're just going to get slandered on the internet for it. Yeah, you're making it more difficult for us to grow by being such negative assholes. And so, like, if you want positive things from people, put out positive vibes. That's the other thing that I'd say. But especially when it comes to altcoins, you want to make money from altcoins right now. Identify good ones, send them messages, get volunteering, then exchange your volunteering for tokens, and then you never even had to buy the dip. This is what I did back in 2017 with Nulls. I volunteered very heavily for their community. Unfortunately, I never made a lot of money at it at the time, but what it gave me is a lot of experience and knowledge in the crypto space and a lot of contacts. And then from those contacts, I was able to grow other businesses just from volunteering for a while. It works as a concept. It's how Jess actually started for me, I think. Did you just volunteer or did you ask for money? I can't
I
remember.
asked for money.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you were cheap enough to feel like it was volunteering, especially during the bull market. Um, peasant change, here.
So altcoins that I think could perform, well, I've spoken about this before, is launchpad tokens, because when you get into a pre-launch in the bull market, that is very profitable. So that's something I want to spend more time looking at in 2023, because I feel like this is a good time to take a look at those. And also gaming tokens, I'm still liking the idea of these. I'm just waiting for that.
Well, it's a difficult one because gaming tokens, you need a good game. That's the most difficult part about a gaming token. I think most of the crypto games that I've played have been pretty terrible, like the equivalent of mini clip games. And then you go, well, you play a mini clip game for like 5 minutes and then you go and do something productive with your life. There's, I guess, not enough depth to crypto games right now. We've been writing a lot about them with Crypto Saving Expert and exploring the possibilities of which ones could be good and which ones could be bad. I like the look of Aperion. I think that Aperion does look really, really good. From the perspective, it's very different than what's been done so far, and it's more of like a World of Warcraft play that's fully complete rather than just a concept. And it's also been in development for like 7 years. And the game was never really originally meant to have a cryptocurrency attached to it. It's just they ran out of money and they needed funding. So that's the route that they went down. And it worked, and they've integrated the cryptocurrency, and I think it'll probably work within that system. I think it's a good game. The point is, it's been done properly. Whereas you have a lot of people that come with an idea for a game, pop it out overnight, and bam, you've raised 7 million quid, made a bunch of money. Well, hey, we're all rich. No, that's not how it works anymore. I wish it was. That'd be so good. Do you remember the days where people used to just like, even at the start of this year, you could sneeze, raise $2 million for something called, I don't know, toilet swap, and people would be happy with that, and you just give them T swap token, and then they'd be like, "Oh my god, yeah, you need to buy this T swap token." Times have changed. The market is better
It
now.
really
It's
has.
healthier. Imagine the market had like a severe raging tumor. That is essentially what was happening towards the back end of the market there. You had all these parasites that discovered crypto and going, oh my God, I'm going to launch a crypto business. Where you got all of us people that have been around forever going, I don't know. Is it probably not the right time for that, guys? And then before you know it, all these parasites are making everybody look bad. But that's just because there's a sheer amount, like concentration of parasites are in crypto. They make everybody look bad, the parasites. But those parasites leave. They've, for the most part, left now. There's not that many parasites left because it's easier to scam in Forex again. So go back to scamming in Forex and leave crypto alone. And we will all get nice and rich over the next few years. And then the parasites will come back. Everyone will make really lots of money. And then we'll all get called scammers again. That's just the way that the industry works. Happy days. Subscribe, like the video. We're going to try and get 100 likes on this. It's not going to happen right now, but we can try.
What are we at? 44.
45 according to mine.
A
160
question for you.
1,630 subscribers, which is very nice. Thank you all for subscribing. I do appreciate it. We are doing our best, working every day throughout this period.
Solana is currently 17th in terms of market cap and $9.54. Do you think it'll be top 20 next bull market?
No.
No, neither do
No.
I. This
No,
is
I
really
think
split people though.
it's really what?
A lot of people are buying the dip into Solana and still feeling really confident.
There's a lot of money in the ecosystem. I don't buy it. I think if you look at Solana as a network and you go, how many times has it broken over the past year? It's broken a lot. And how many times have people complained about it? And they complained about it a lot. And how many times have people actually liked and enjoyed building on top of Solana? Not a lot, because it's really difficult to build on top of, and it's not very fun. There are much better blockchain applications out there, and ultimately, who was Solana's biggest backer? Who holds 20% of the supply of Solana? I'll give you a clue. His name's Sam, and he's currently living at his parents' house. So, if you think Solana is going to be around forever, I would reconsider that. It might be a decent time to buy the dip in the short term and then sell for a profit when we bounce, but
We
In the
are up
long term.
4.5% in the last hour for Solana.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not confident. If you're a developer now, choosing which network to build on, you
If I
wouldn't.
was, it's just very simple. Like it's so simple to choose a network. You go to a network and you go, how much money will you give me? And the network goes, 50 quid. And then you go to the next one, you go, 300 quid. And then before you know it, you got them bidding up to like 10,000, 20,000. Basically, the networks that people build on the most frequently now are networks that issue development grants. So you have Elrond Network that's got a $300 million development grant fund. They are currently just basically paying people to build on top of them because they took a lot of money in the bull run from profits from their team tokens and everything like that. And they use that fund to grow their ecosystem. It's called an ecosystem fund. So these ecosystem funds, the networks with the biggest ecosystem funds will become the next Solanas. There are a few. I think Avalanche didn't do very well though from the fallout from the crash. Polkadot, I really hope comes back because I have a lot of Polkadot.
It's
Not
down at 13th in terms of market cap.
Yeah, it used to be a lot. But the thing is, Polkadot is Polkadot. The reason I like Polkadot is because it's kind of like a vetted cryptocurrency project. In that you can only build on top of Polkadot if you've been voted in or if you've been approved or within the system. And it's not like anybody can just build a project on top of it. You need a parachain, and then you have to go through the parachain auctions, and it's a bit complex. And I think ultimately that's what's going to drag down a lot of these things. That's why we need to improve the education in the cryptocurrency space. Because if everybody understood what this stuff was, perhaps they would be more likely to use it. But currently, nobody understands it. Slap a like on today's video, subscribe. That would be really greatly appreciated. Trying to hit 100 likes in this video, so let's try.
That's really all we had planned for today. Do you have any other topics we want to discuss?
Let's discuss. Would you rather marry Andrew Tate or marry Bill Gates?
Bill Gates.
I would rather marry Bill Gates as well. What about, would you rather marry Andrew Tate or Donald Trump?
Oh, Donald Trump's older. I'd have to go for Donald Trump because he'll die quicker.
Yeah, and you get to take the money. I got Trump as well. What about? I don't know. There's all sorts of things that I can just sit and discuss. We should probably end it here. Yeah, Hamza says, smash a like on today's video. Thank you very much, Hamza. We really do appreciate that. I appreciate all the support on social media. I see it all. You're like the first guy to comment on so many things. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, slap a like on it. Don't forget, if you aren't already, please do subscribe. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah, it's Monday the 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year.
Next
No,
year.
the second.
Second. Well, maybe we should do a New Year's Day stream then. What's wrong with you? Why don't you want to work Sunday?
We can do if you want. I might have a banging headache.
Well, you alcoholics will do your drugs, won't you? Right, yeah, no, on that note, we'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great day and see you in the new year. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.